Hey everybody, welcome back to the garden. We are out here early in the morning on a Saturday morning, trying to beat the heat that is going to be probably upper 90s again today. With that being said, let's forget about all that heat and let's think about cooler times. Let's discuss what we're going to do about our fall garden. A lot of people don't plant a fall garden. I never used to plant a fall garden. Last year, I think, was one of my first years I did this. I do find a fall garden to be very, very, very rewarding. You can extend your harvest this way. Granted, there's not going to be plants that you're going to be able to plant like tomatoes and different things like that in your fall garden. But there are several good crops that you can get out of your fall garden and really extend the fun into the fall and even into the winter. Several things you need to take in consideration whenever you're doing your fall gardening. One is your first frost date. My first frost date here is October 18th. So with me knowing that date, I can count down from or count up to October 18th and figure out how many frost-free days I supposedly got left, and this will allow me to do a little math and figure out what I can and cannot plant. Now, just because I have maybe, let's say, 80 some, 90 some frost-free days left, I don't want to go out and plant something that's 80 to 90 days till maturity. You want to give that plant several weeks, couple weeks to produce. You also have to consider that the sun and the days are getting shorter and shorter and shorter. The plants recognize that, so it will take a little longer for some of these things to mature. So maybe try to add on a couple weeks, maybe 10 to 14 days onto those that calculation that you made earlier from your first frost date. So a couple of things that I'm gonna be planting, and I'll sow these directly into the garden, are going to be carrots and turnips. I know my brother, go check him out, Tony Time 80. He plants his carrots on. He already has his carrots planted. He's hoping that they're germinating this week. Last year I waited till about the first or second week in August, and then I planted mine. Things went really smooth with that. They came up, and to be honest with you, I didn't harvest those until about 2 weeks before Christmas. It was kind of weird canning in December, but it was very enjoyable canning in December. And those things were so sweet since they hit a few frosts and got to really sweeten up. And one thing that did was a little bit bothersome was coming out here in the cold and picking them, but that wasn't too bad. Nothing to really complain about. So the other day, I started out and I planted some different seeds. Let's go check that out real quick. I'll show you what I got going on there. So a couple of things that I'm going to try to plant this year in the fall is some broccoli. Got this Calabrese green sprouting kind. I'm going to try the Pok Choy again. See if we can get some cabbage red anchor going. Got some new dehydrators, so we'll see if the sweet basil will take off. Maybe some large leaf basil. Gonna also try, see if we can do some squash. Might be pushing it, but we'll see. See if we can do some zucchini squash. Got some cucumbers. I think I can get those in time yet. And some chili cabbage, which should be good too. I'm on the fence about the chili. We'll see. We will see. going to go ahead and get some of these seeds planted. Yeah, so you can see there's quite a few things that you can plant in the fall and have it really work out for you. Those things will be out there until I can get into the garden and plant them. I did pull out a bunch of onions and garlic and some peas and different things. And I did prep. I got 4 beds prepped and ready to go. I probably will have more beds prepped and ready for different things here in the next couple weeks. But yeah, I want to get those things up and going so that we can have a real good harvest here this next fall. Let's check out how I did those bed preps. This took a little bit of sweat and a little bit of work to get these things done because yes, while the days I did it was maybe like a 76, 80 degree day, but man, it is still hot and humid here. Let's check these out real quick. Hey everybody, today we are going to start to prepare a couple beds for our fall garden. Show you real quick. This is a bed I took onions out of and garlic, so it is dug up a little bit. We got another bed over here that I took garlic or onions out of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep it by fertilizing it with some chicken poo. And then I'm going to water it down real good. And I got all these weeds with no seeds in them. Well, I shouldn't say that. Right there's a seed. But all these weeds that I'm going to cut up, chop up, turn into a mulch. So hopefully I'll get some rejuvenation back into that bed. Having that wet moisture in there, I think, will make a world of a difference. Let's get started. I feel like this guy's ready to go. The weeds are on there a little bit thick, but it'll put back into the soil over the next 2 weeks before I'm ready to plant. So we should be good to go. Now, let's take you over and we'll do the same thing to this bed. First, gotta get some weeds out of here, and I gotta work around my squash plants and some basil, but that'll be okay. Let's get to work. So far we have gotten 3 beds done. Bed 1, bed 2, still got some cabbages in there. Used some of my comfrey plants for mulch. Bed 3, used some cabbages and some weeds for mulch. Take a look. Here's where I've harvested some of the comfrey. These are transplants from this year. I think this is the first time I got cuttings off of them. But they worked out real well. Alright. Next, we go on to the pea bed. It is a beast. Let's see how much of this I can get pulled out. And we'll see what we need to do. Gotta be careful, we got some squash in there, and some wallflowers, and one really prickly bush. Let's get going. All right, there you have it. We are done. Got a good helping of comfrey on there too. Now I'm not gonna probably plant anything in this for 2 weeks, so all that will dry up and go back to decompose real quickly. This bed, on the other hand, probably won't decompose that quick. I'll probably end up having to remove some of this, chop it up a little bit finer, and go from there. Or I'll just take some of this, throw it in the compost pile, and put more comfrey on there. I got a ton of comfrey out here. It's been a good thing. Same with this bed. I believe those cabbage leaves will be withered away in about 2 weeks. But we should be good to go. Next project is to clear out the survival of the fittest garden. That is gonna be a chore. I already got a lot of weed seeds populating in there. We need to get that done. So, as you can see, we are ready to go. My challenge to you is going to be, let's see if you can put a garden in. See what your results are. I'll try to take you along with my journey on my fall garden, and we'll kind of see how things work. I believe the fall is going to be one of the best times for you guys to plant. You'll find out there's a whole lot less weed pressure, a lot less bug pressure, and quite simply for me, the weather is just more enjoyable than coming out here and harvesting stuff in the heat. So, cheers everybody. Let's get planting.